we're looking at two wonderful couples, from Dominica, who have just finished we're looking for words to describe the experience, right? I mean, really inspiring, and wonderful experience here in Trinidad and Tobago, attending the convention of the North American Secretariat of the Worldwide Marriage Encounter, right? And on the screen from left to right, we can see Dedri Jules along with her husband, Hilarion Jules. And Hilarion and Dedri are the coordinators of Marriage Encounter in Dominica. And as we pan to the right, we see Rani Felix and his wife, Rosie, who were the former coordinators, or past coordinators, if you prefer, of Marriage Encounter Dominica. And along with another group or two more couples, or three more couples from Dominica Marriage, Emmy couples. They've just finished attending the convention that I mentioned. So we want to find out what happened, because we want the Emmy community in Dominica to share their experience with us, if not physically, but at least in terms of what we can report to them about what happened here. So we begin with you, Hilarion. Let us talk about the convention generally, in terms of what it is about, what you experienced during your participation in the convention.
It was a wonderful love experience. Anytime Marriage Encounter gathers, it's all about love. And as you indicated, the North American Secretariat of Worldwide Marriage Encounter hosted this convention. It's hosted every 3 years. And it is the first time that it was hosted outside of the continental United States. And so the Caribbean team, which in effect forms part of what we call Region 3 Canada Caribbean, because we link with Canada as a region. For the first time, we hosted this convention in Trinidad at the NAPA, the National Association of Performing Arts. Wonderful edifice, wonderful conference facility. There were some major speakers. There's Monsignor Philip Bourdais, the Vatican's lead on marriage and family life, working out of the St. John Paul II Center in Rome. Archbishop Jason Gordon celebrated Mass with us a couple of times during the weekend. And there were various presentations by couples and families on all aspects of family life. Most importantly, there was a theme for the convention, and the theme, Be the Light of Christ. And so everything that was presented surrounded or circled to we being the light of Christ. As individuals, as couples, as families, being the light of Christ. And so yes, we were well fed. We were well fed and we are empowered, coming back home ready to share the experience, to share the love, to be the light of Christ.
I guess you were well fed in terms of Amy, the Marriage Encounter material that can be useful to you in what you do. And I also imagine that you were well fed in Trinidad in terms of the food that you ate, right?
Well, of course, that's certain. That's certain. That goes without saying.
So right, okay. So it is a double, if you will, experience.
Yes.
Okay. We'll probably come back to Dedri to say something, or is there something that you think? Okay.
That's all right.
All right. So as we move along now, we picking up Rani and Rosie, and let's go to Rosie first, since Rosie was one of the people who, quite apart from presenting, but she was also very involved, in her time as Emmy coordinator. She was one of those people who was very actively involved in Marriage Encounter, and who has also expressed tremendous excitement about what went down here in Trinidad. So Rosie, talk to us about your personal experience here at the Emmy convention.
Well, as we said, the theme is Be the Light of Christ, and when Rani and I, did our Marriage Encounter 32 years ago, one of the things we learned back then is that married couples, we are a sign of God's love in the world, and now we're hearing of Him be the light. So we're not. It was re-emphasized and also demonstrated because families were brought in, and of course, we had several priests with us. So it's about vocation, people who take on a vocation, who know their vocation, living out their vocation for others to see and to glorify Christ, to show, let others see the Christ in not only in us as individuals, as baptized Christians, but as a couple. The life that we live as a couple ought to be a sign of God's love and a light. The light of Christ, especially in these days, it's war all around us and fightings and hate, and so we want to be hope. That's what the convention did. It gave couples a sign of hope, in keeping with the theme of this Jubilee year. It was really a gathering of couples and priests that gave us hope and helped us ignite further or add fuel to the light of Christ that we ought to bring across to the world, to draw others to Christ.
And I know you and Rani played a direct role in what happened at the convention, and the information and the fuel that you talk about that was provided, that you were part of a presentation, right? The two of you were supposed to have delivered it. Rani, unfortunately, was not able to do his part in terms of the actual presentation itself. And he actually... Well, tell us, Rani. Tell us yourself. Give us the story.
Well, yeah. Rosie and I were supposed to present together. But I unfortunately came down with the flu on Friday. And by Saturday morning, I completely lost my voice. I completely lost my voice on Saturday morning, and so I couldn't present. And so we had to bring in Healy. Healy had to...
That's Hilarion Jules. Okay, yeah.
Had to present on my behalf, so he basically...
Voiceover, you call that.
He basically read what I had prepared, and he did a fantastic job, he presented it,
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I was there, I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
But otherwise, it was a wonderful experience, just being there. And what we presented on was how am I the light of Christ to my spouse, and I had to say how I am the light of Christ to Rosie, and she had to say how she's the light of Christ to me. And we had to, identify examples, concrete examples, and made the presentation, and from the feedback that we had, I think it went down very well.
Okay, and for those people in Dominica, both ME couples and other couples and young people who are looking to become couples, what are some of the things from your presentation that you would wish to sort of highlight to help inspire them in their journey, of coupling or couple relationships? Yeah.
Okay, well, I think it's basically...
And I'm talking, that is for both you and Rosie, yeah?
Yes,
okay.
yes, yeah. Well, I think the theme that run through the presentation would be that doing little things with great love. You see the voice still not back yet. Doing little things with great love. We don't have to be extravagant. We don't have to be looking to do big things all the time. But very little things which are important to our spouse. And we do it with a lot of love, and also that we take into consideration that our union has to be worked on every day, our relationship. It is an everyday process that you don't take each other for granted, and you don't take things for granted, and you learn to appreciate, and you recognize each other and the value, that we have to for each other.
All right. Do you want to add anything to that, Rosie, from your own perspective?
Yes, and basically you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a light. We frequently say we are not perfect, but there are many things we can do perfectly, and that is the little love things. Continuously on the journey. You know the raffles were with us on that journey, and the decision, that couple basically remind us of our marriage encounter theme. Love is a decision. If you hear the love story, and I hope can one of these
we can say that this story is to be continued.
Yes,
right?
is deciding to love every day, in every action, make it be a result from a love decision, a decision to love.
Okay, let's go back to Hilaria now and look at the convention overall. Give us a summary of some of the highlights, of that convention that you're taking away, all of us are taking away, and that we would like to impart, to our other colleagues or fellow married couples along the journey and so on. What are some of the things that you're taking away from the
just
convention?
before I get into that, just to draw back on the theme, be the light of Christ. When we think about it, it is the light of Christ, and we are being asked to be the light of Christ, meaning reflect Christ's light. When we reflect Christ's light, we shine the way for others. Now, a very interesting analogy came out throughout the weekend, that is, whenever there is light, there is also darkness. Don't think that there is the absence of darkness. For after all, if you've got a source of light and you beam it onto something, it casts a shadow, and the shadow is dark, And so we need not be, as Monsignor Philip Borden told us, you need not wait until you are without trouble to be the light of Christ. You need not wait until you are out of challenges to be the light of Christ. No. And again, as Ronnie and Rosie said, it is the little things that you do. It's not big things that you do to be the light of Christ. So this Archbishop, the Vatican leader, as I mentioned earlier on, he was really powerful in the messages that he brought out. A very interesting aspect of the convention for me too, although it is marriage encounter and we speak in marriage, but the aspect of family life. We had the family of Deacon Malcolm Job, his wife Lynn, and the two daughters, and they made a presentation of how they are being light, and just the daughters being light to the parents by the little things that they do in the home. So yes, this whole aspect of being light, we need to carry it out. Rani spoke of the presentation that they did, how am I being light to my spouse? Now, how are we being light as a couple to other couples? How are we being light to our parishioners, even the non-married in our parishioners, the youth, how are we being light? So we were really encouraged, to look at those areas, look at the opportunities offered us, and go out and reflect the light of Christ. Let that light now fall onto others.
Okay, Dedri, we're not going to leave this interview without a comment from you, your own reflections on your experience.
Okay, so as a team, we decided for the opening to wear our outfits with a touch of Madras. And let me tell you something. We were really taken aback to see how everyone just appreciated, our outfits and, the touch of Madras, how we looked and whatnot. We got a lot of compliments. So, we must say that Dominica does have a lot to offer, and we thank God for that. And also, it was really happening to be in the company of in excess of 200 couples and their families. That was really, really, really happening. And that gave us hope. Now that we know we are in the Jubilee, we are in the Jubilee year, this was highlighted a lot as well. It gave us hope for marriage encounter in Dominica, because we got the tools that we needed to go back to our beautiful country, Dominica, and continue to do the work that we started.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you this question, right? But Dedri seemed to have nailed it. But Rani, yes, you wanted to say something.
I just want to say that the real work starts now.
Right.
The mountain experience is over, and we need to go down from the mountain and do the work, down in the valley, so to
Right.
speak.
But then you were saying you've gotten some additional tools
Oh yes,
to
it
add to your
was some
chest,
additional tool
right?
and motivation.
Right.
because,
Inspirations.
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, being out there working constantly, you do need a little bit of energy and
Right.
a little G up every now and then, you know.
Right.
And I think that is what we got. We got that injection, you know, and that enthusiasm to go out there and let's do it again, you know.
All right. All right, folks. Yes.
Also, we must not underestimate and we appreciate the spiritual aspect of our entire time in Trinidad. We got to participate in the Corpus Christi procession on Thursday, and it was a wonderful experience.
Heavenly.
Yeah.
Really heavenly experience.
Yes.
And then for each day of our conference, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got to celebrate Mass. And Archbishop Gordon, who is he's an encountered priest, an encountered Archbishop, he was powerful.
All right.
He was really powerful. So it was a really spiritual experience as well, because you know, when you are in those areas, when you are doing God's work, you have to ask for his protection as well for yourself and for your family, and we are really thankful that at least we were able to get that spiritual experience.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, for sharing with me. What I can add to this, from a personal standpoint, I endorse your messages, every single one of you. Right? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Good man. Right. Right.